They built a pool, right in the middle of my land. And the craziest part? They didn't even ask. I remember the first time I saw it. Concrete poured, water filling up, workers everywhere like it was some kind of public project. But it wasn't public. It was mine. I walked up to the fence and just stood there for a minute, watching them finish it. And then she showed up, clipboard in hand, bright pink blazer, already acting like she owned everything in sight. "We built a community pool," she said proudly. Like that sentence solved everything. Like that gave her permission. I didn't argue, didn't yell, because I knew something she didn't. This land wasn't part of her HOA. It never was. But she kept talking. "You'll need to follow community guidelines now," she added, smiling like she'd just won something. I almost laughed. Instead, I just nodded once and walked away, because arguing wouldn't fix this. But action would. The next morning, I came back early, before anyone else showed up, before she could stand there and supervise like she always did. I connected a pump, and I started draining the pool. At first, it looked slow, but then the water started dropping. Inches, then feet, hour by hour. That community pool started disappearing. By midday, it was half empty. By evening, it was gone. Nothing left but wet concrete and mud at the bottom. That's when the real plan started. I brought in my cattle, 3 of them at first. They walked right down into that empty pool like it had always belonged to them. And in a way, it had. I set up a trough right in the center, filled it with water. And just like that, that community pool became something useful, something real. The next day, she came back, and the moment she saw it, she lost it. "What did you do?" she shouted, pointing at the pool, at the cows, at everything she thought she owned. I leaned on the fence. "Calm. They are drinking," I said. "That didn't help. You destroyed HOA property," she yelled. "No," I replied. "I used my land." That's when she pulled out her phone. "Of course she did. I'm calling the police," she said. Like that would fix it. Like that would somehow undo reality. So I just waited, because I knew how this would end. The officers showed up about 10 minutes later. She rushed to them immediately, talking fast, pointing louder. "He drained the pool. He ruined everything." They looked at me, then at the pool, then at the cows, standing inside it like nothing was wrong. One of them walked closer. "So, what's going on here?" I didn't explain much. I just handed him the papers. My land deed. Clear, simple, official. He read it carefully, then passed it to his partner. And that's when everything changed. "This property belongs to him," the officer said. Silence. You could actually feel it. Her face changed instantly. "That's not possible," she said. But it was. And this structure, the officer continued, pointing at the pool, was built without his permission. That was it. That was the moment she lost. Completely. She tried to argue, tried to push back, but her voice wasn't the same anymore. The officer said calmly, "He has every right to modify his property." And just like that, her control disappeared. I didn't smile, didn't celebrate. I just stood there, watching her realize it. The cows kept drinking. The water rippled quietly in the trough, and the community pool was gone. The officers left shortly after. Nothing to enforce, nothing to fix, just the truth. She stood there for another moment. Then slowly, she turned and walked away. No yelling this time, no threats, just silence. I stepped down into the pool, looked around once, then back at the land. Peaceful, the way it should have been from the start, because they built a pool, but they built it on the wrong land. And in the end, I turned it into something that actually mattered. If you enjoyed this story, like, thumbs up, sign, subscribe bell.